Yo, what is going on, you pink pyroars? Today we're playing an old favorite with some new updates. It's Gengar Omastar, and there's been a whole lot of new cards released that work super well in this deck since the last time I showcased this deck. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the new cards in this deck. The first one is Greens, the first big one, I guess. Really helps us just consistently get out a turn 2 Omastar, setting up that fossil bind super consistently. And yeah, it's just kind of like the best, most consistent way to like get out the Omastar right now. We can't use them anymore once Omastar gets out, but we have some other supporters to kind of back it up as the games progress. We got the coach trainer as well as some Bill's analysis. Besides that, another big card for the deck is the surprise box, where we can put a card from our opponent's discard pile into their hand. Usually going to be an item card that will get trapped in their hand, stuck in their hand forever, and then increase the Gengar's poltergeist damage output by 50 every turn. We got energy spinners in here that we can use, get off greens, or if we draw into them, help us find our energy. If we go second, gets us the 3 basic energy, basically all the basic energy we'll need for pretty much the whole game, potentially. We got peeking red cards in here. Look at our opponent's hand, shuffle it back. There's not enough trainers in there. When we take a look at it, we can make them get a new hand of the same size. But yeah, hopefully more trainers when it comes back around. And then we got the reset stamp. Good early on. Once they knock out the first Gengar, definitely way less valuable. That's why we got the peeking red cards in here as well. Reset stamp is good early on, but loses value once they take the first knockout on the first Gengar Mimikyu. And then besides that, we got some choice helmets, some healing in the mixed herbs, specifically more mixed herbs than great potions, because there's quite a few special conditions we're trying to avoid. There's Raichu with the paralyzation. There's Blacephalon with the bursting burn. So yeah, opting for the 4 mixed herbs over the 4 great potions, even though the great potions are a little bit more efficient for the healing. Getting rid of the special conditions right now is pretty important. And I think that's all I have to say about the list. So let's go ahead and get into some games. 1 second here in this one, we have a pretty good opening hand. We're gonna be able to GX attack as well as set up for a turn 2. Oh, there's a immediate reset stamp from our opponent. That's fine. We drew back into basically the same hand, a little bit different, I guess. Definitely want to look for a greens for an energy spinner at this point. I was like thinking that we don't quite need to go that route, but now we definitely need to go that route. Our opponent's turn is not too ridiculously good. But yeah, greens into energy spinner sounds pretty good. So let's look for that. There's a coach trainer, not quite an energy spinner, so it's gonna have to be the Bill's analysis into energy spinner at this point. No energy spinner. We have a greens for next turn, I guess, but that is a little slow, definitely slower than I wanted this turn to play out. But we will have that turn 2 Omastar at the very least. Can grab communication plus an energy spinner off this greens on the following turn. We'll put down the unidentified fossil this turn, and I think that will be it. Pass over to our opponent. And then, yeah, like I said, we can go greens, get a communication and a rare candy. Oh, I guess I can't get the spinner as well. So we're going to have to get communication and rare candy. That will have to be our go-to here to get the item lock established. I guess we don't have to establish the item lock quite yet. We could just go for greens for energy spinner and another greens. And then next turn, I guess it'll all depend on our top deck as well. Depending on our top deck will change everything. So we'll see how our top deck goes. That'll definitely potentially change everything. Especially with them being super aggressive and looking like they're gonna knock out this initial Gengar Mimikyu in not this turn but next turn. They're probably gonna burn and poison or burn and confuse us initially here. So we might just look to set up a different Gengar Mimikyu. We might even just go for coach trainer this turn and just draw some cards and then go from there. I feel like that might be what we go for. There's the I think double custom catcher. Yeah, that's gonna hurt us a lot as well. And then the knockout on our fossil. That's unfortunate. The fossil will go down. We do have another one in the deck, hopefully he's still around. I'm gonna try and get him out here, start utilizing him. Yeah, that's a super unfortunate, super good draw from our opponent, if I do say so. So it is gonna be greens. We're gonna grab ourselves our second fossil and another greens, I think. Let me think for a second here. I think we'll go fossil and greens here. Our opponent won't be able to do too ridiculously much unless they're able to find another welder. If they do find another welder, I guess we will be in trouble. If they don't find another welder, I think we should have plenty of time to reset up and establish our item lock and then go from there. There's the charging up. There's a Cynthia. That's not a welder. All right, so we're going to finally buy ourselves some time here on this one. It took us a little bit to establish our setup, but I think we're finally here now. We can start working towards getting our item lock into play, setting up our Gengar Mimikyus, and getting ready to start decking. I don't think we want to use this Gengar Mimikyu anymore. I think we want to find a different one and start setting up that one. We do have the Cherish Ball for that. I think I'm just going to go Coach Trainer this turn. I don't even think I'm going to establish the item lock quite yet. I could greens for the item lock, but that would mean I wouldn't have another Gengar Mimikyu in play. I think I want to get another Gengar Mimikyu in play. And then, oh, they are going for the Mind Blown. Interesting. I don't think they're doing quite enough damage yet. They're just going to hit us for 200, though. I guess that's fine. That's definitely fine with me. That'll give us some more time for sure. So I'm just going to go with Coach Trainer here, I think. I just kind of want to draw cards, give myself some more options. Okay, another Gengar Mimikyu. It's great. They can't KO this guy next turn, so I'm very tempted to attach to the active now and use the GX attack, but I kind of want to make our opponent draw up some cards as well. So I might go attach and pass. I would like to draw some cards as well on the following turn. So I think I am going to go attach active. And then I'll play this Cherish Ball, get ourselves another Gengar Mimikyu. Yeah, we want our opponent to have more cards in hand than they currently do. And then I wouldn't mind drawing some more cards myself. They can't knock us out unless they have a Welder combo. We're just going to play like they don't have the Welder combo here. And we are just going to go pass over to our opponent here. They can't KO our active unless they have the Welder. So we're just playing like they're not going to have the Welder. They will be able to Bursting Burn us, but then we can heal that off with the Mixed Herbs. I think we'll double Custom Catcher up the other Blacephalon, play the greens, establish the Omastar finally, and then GX attack, draw a bunch of cards, give ourselves a bunch of options for the following turn, and go from there. There's a Heat Factory. Definitely want to try and get out a Power Plant as soon as possible. It's fine if they want to be aggressive with their stadiums like this. We can actually kind of abuse that ourselves. So that's fine with me. There's the Welder. That's unfortunate. They are going to be able to knock out our Gengar Mimikyu. If they get another energy, actually. They don't have it quite yet. They only welded for 1. I'm sure they would have welded for 2 if they had to. So maybe not quite a knockout, which would be great. Would love to buy some more time here. We'll see if they've got it or not. There's a Psychic attached to the bench, so they don't have the other Welder. Perfect for us. Perfect for us. Slow them down a little bit. And yeah, they're just going to have to go with the Bursting Burn, which is fine with me. Bursting Burn will take 20 damage from the burn. We did not heal the burn, so we will die going to our opponent's turn, but we got the double Mixed Herbs, so we're going to be able to heal that off just fine. Like I said, we're going to go greens. I'm going to get Communication Rare Candy here. Communication Rare Candy. Get ourselves that Omastar set up. We're going to double Custom Catcher up the other Blacephalon, trap that in the active. Trap this guy in the active. I'm going to attach active. Double Mixed Herbs. Heal this guy up quite a bit. Super cool. Communication away this Gengar Mimikyu. Grab ourselves the Omastar. Candy that guy out. And then we will GX attack. We'll get 3 cards. Opponent will get 2 cards, but they won't be able to play any cards out of hand, so that's fine with me. There we go. GX attack. Got a way to replace the stadium, which is nice. If they do want to use it, I actually wouldn't even mind if they use their stadium here. Draw more cards into their hand. That's more items that are potentially trapped in their hand. So that's fine with me. We'll see what they end up going with. Definitely want to replace their stadium on the next turn. There we go. Like I said, Ultra Conversion. More cards in hand. More cards they can't play out of hand. More, definitely more trainer cards now in their hand. I'm going to attach to this Gengar Mimikyu. Going to put... I guess I'll start with Coach Trainer, because if I did find... Triple Surprise Box is super cool. I'm going to start with the Peking Red card. We're just going to take a look at what's going on in here. There is a Welder and an Energy. A bunch of item cards besides that. The Welder and Energy is what I'm scared of, though. Really don't want them to get Welder, be able to Welder extra energy into play. Let's see, do they have any fires in the discard pile here? They do not. They can do 150 on an attachment. I think I will make them shuffle. We attach to the bench, so they can do 150. So if we healed 50, we're down to 80. They wouldn't quite knock us out if they just have attachment for turn. And we're definitely replacing this stadium at the very least. I think I will Great Potion my active. It'll force out a little bit more from our opponent. I do want them to have a big hand. We could go reset stamp. I want to go like reset stamp later plus like the triple surprise box to knock them out. And there we go, knockout. They did get the beast energy, so with 3 now they will be able to knock us out actually. So that's unfortunate. But then we can follow up with reset stamp plus the surprise boxes, and limit their hand and then take away a bunch of stuff. We do give them beast ring here, but they can't play item cards because of the Omastar, so not a big deal at all. Bystander Labs won't limit our opponent's cards at all either. They don't really play any tool cards, and right now they're currently item locked, so even if they did, they couldn't play them down. Yeah, the beast energy is pretty annoying that they drew that. I was trying to avoid them being able to get the knockout here, but hey, they got it. We'll have to deal with it. That's fine. They'll knock us out here. We should be able to easily get the respond knockout. And even though, whoa, they're actually going with the Heatran here. That's interesting that they're choosing to put the Heatran in play here. And Dead-Eye Change. So they're just going all out here with their Pokemon. And yeah, they're going to be item locked for the rest of the game here for sure now. There's no way they're going to be able to get out of item lock anymore. Their bench is just too full. They did get a fire energy in the discard pile, I believe, though, so they're going to get one more charging up there. But we got the 3 surprise boxes, so we'll definitely be able to force plenty of item cards into the hand that will be stuck in the hand from here on out, and they won't be able to do anything about it. There's a welder that gets a little bit scary with that Heatran. Now I'm scared of that Heatran for sure. They do have to get rid of 3 energy with the Blacephalon, but actually I think they might have enough energy in play to close this one out with the Heatrans. I mean, they need quite a few for the Heatran GX attack, right? They need 5. I don't think they'll quite be able to get 5 on the Heatran. They have to get rid of 3 here with Mind Blown. So yeah, they won't be able to get quite 5 on the Heatran, I don't think. Here goes the Mind Blown. We do need 4. Our opponents have 4 trainer cards, so I'm debating if I want to reset stamp them and then surprise box them, or if I should just go with... I think I do. And then we can give them 3 item cards. And they're likely to draw into 1 item card off of the 2 they would draw into. Maybe not. Let's start with the coach trainer either way. We'll see what we draw. Because if we get to it, another surprise box, well, I guess we could go with Bill's Analysis, try and find that last surprise box. Nah, I'm going to go with coach trainer here. Change my mind. 4th surprise box, so we're definitely going to go with the reset stamp play. Take their hand all the way down. Throw out the 4 surprise boxes to guarantee the knockout here. We're going to give them a bunch of useless cards. Beast Ring, they can no longer play. They actually can't play any item cards anymore, so we can kind of give them whatever we want. Going to give them a Beast Ring. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to play any item cards at this point. Their bench is always going to be way bigger than ours. So yeah, we got the 4th surprise box, so we can guarantee the knockout. Guarantee flood their hand with items, and guarantee to be stuck in the hand. It would have been nice to have a power plant here to guarantee another Dedenne couldn't come down, but it looks like they're playing Shintaro's list, which means there's only 1 Dedenne in it, so I shouldn't have to be scared of another Dedenne happening. Yeah, plenty of items in that hand. They can Cynthia to try and reset the hand, try and get rid of some of the items, but that's pretty much their only OP here. A mixed herbs here is great, so we can't be bursting burned. Also, if we can get the other mixed herbs, have some healing options, because if they do get an energy, they will be able to turning point us for 80 and then follow up with this guy's with the Heatran to if I knock out the Naganadel, the energy will go to the discard pile, get it back with this guy. Well, I guess they would need to retreat, so actually they maybe need a little bit more energy than I think. They need to pull off like a welder play here. Actually, if they do get a welder for 2 energy here, we do just lose. There's the Heatran, the energy's going to move up. So if they do have the welder with 2 energy here, we do lose. We can't do anything about that, I guess. There's the welder. Oh no, it looks like they did get it here. So what's it called would have definitely been a big deal if we had gotten that power plant. We kind of whiffed the power plant at the end there. They have a charging up, but that's for the psychic energy. So maybe we do have them here. I don't know if they've attached for turn yet. I don't think so. So if they have a fire off the welder, they can definitely attach that. There's the Hot Burn GX, though. Only 200 damage, so just short from our opponent. I think they should have gone with the turning point that turn. So our opponent should for sure have enough item cards in their hand for us to knock them out. But let's just try and guarantee it. I'm going to use the bills, see if there's anything else I can draw to confirm that our opponent's hand is what it is. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find anything. We can grab the mixed herbs and a power plant, though. And yeah, our opponent concedes. I wanted to just make sure, but I'm pretty sure we had it locked up no matter what. And we're going to take the first dub here over the Blacephalon deck. The early game was super slow for us. We got like a turn 3, turn 4 Omastar, but I had a good game plan on like how to set it up and get us into the point where once we got the Omastar set up and started attacking, we really did kind of lock them out of the game, and it worked perfectly. Once we finally got the setup going, it took us a little bit to get there. I got that early double custom catcher on the Blacephalon, trap that active, and then just start swinging from there, and they couldn't quite keep up. It got close there at the end. I think they definitely misplayed by not just hitting with the Naganadel and then going into the Heatran. But I guess they were scared of our last two custom catchers, but kind of unlikely we would find them, especially because we can't use greens. But they got a little bit scared of those, I think, and then didn't get the energy, and we're able to take the dub. We are going first. We got the... Well, we don't really have a choice. We're always going to open the Gengar Mimikyu as our only basic Pokemon in the deck. But we got the energy, got a Bill's Analysis. Not looking too great to get a turn to Omastar yet. Maybe this Pokegear will change things. It's going to get us a Coach Trainer. I feel like I probably want to use the Coach Trainer instead. Just draw some cards. Alright, I like it. I like it. Choice Helmet going to come down as well. I could play the Power Plant, but I think I might hold off on the Power Plant until next turn. Thinking about it. Now let's go ahead and throw it out right now. We have more Power Plants left in the deck, so we may as well potentially slow down our opponent this turn. We could grab another Power Plant next turn even, actually, and just go with putting another one in play off the greens on the next turn if they do replace our Stadium, which wouldn't be terrible, I don't think, actually. Just going ahead and grabbing another Power Plant immediately. It is the Pikachu matchup. I do think this matchup is pretty good. Definitely favorable, I think, for us. Can depend, though. They can hit really hard, really fast. They can sometimes paralyze us with the Raichu. Definitely want to try and avoid that happening. Don't want to get paralyzed. We do have the mixed herbs, but you know, if they can combo with a reset stamp, if they're able to keep their bench low enough, stuff like that can get pretty annoying. There's a reset stamp from our opponent. Probably no reason for them not to play it. We do have a 7-card hand. They can make it 6 if they want. Not that ridiculously good to play it right now, but it would definitely be okay. We'll see if they end up going for it or not here in just a second. We could actually just go for double custom catcher if they choose to like not do anything besides just kind of have the Pikarom set up. If they just go Jirachi Pikarom, we could just go chase this Pikarom down. It looks like they went with a Stadium Nav here, so they might be relying on Dedenne out of the hand, so they need to get rid of this Power Plant. We'll see Stadium Nav. There's one heads. There's two heads. Two heads probably not going to matter. Probably just going to utilize one heads here. And then, oh, they are going to get 2 Stadiums here. Interesting. Actually curious to see what they have going on in the hand. They got Thunder Mountain and the Lysander Labs. Yeah, Lysander Labs coming out right immediately. Shut off our Choice Helmet, but that probably won't be a big deal. There is the reset stamp I was talking about. My hand wasn't ridiculously good, so I don't mind too much. There's another Power Plant. Definitely cool to see that. And there is the pass over to us again from our opponent. I am going to Cherish Ball, get a Gengar Mimikyu out of the deck. We prize 2, but if you're going to prize 2 of something in this deck, Gengar Mimikyu is usually fine to prize. Coach Trainer for 4. Got some Power Plants, but not much else. We definitely... Do I want a GX attack here? So I can Power Plant this, get rid of that Stadium, and then I think I'm going to Peking Red Card my opponent here. I guess I'm not going to drop to many more cards anytime soon, so I think just well, I kind of want to wait until... I definitely want to get that Thunder Mountain out of their hands. Let's go with Peking Red Card here. Yeah, definitely want to have them shuffle that back into the deck. And then I think we will just pass. I could GX attack, but I almost... let's actually go with... Let's go with the GX attack here, actually. Let's go with the GX attack here. Really need to Coach Trainer into some way to get a fossil into play and an energy. We need some energy, we need some fossils. Got the Calm to get rid of the Gengar to get the Omastar, but we only have one Gengar in the deck, so we need to set up a second Gengar at some point, or we could get one off the prizes, I guess. That's also a possibility. Stellar Wish and fail from our opponent. Yeah, guys, this means we can like trap the Pikarom into the active next turn. There's going to be the active concession from our opponent. I guess it's a little bit too much to handle, and take it up there. All right, going first here. Got the Spinner, got the Energy, Power Plant turn 1, and a Bill's Analysis. Playing up against a Malamar deck. Gonna start with the Spinner here to get an Energy out of the deck before we go ahead and play down this Bill's. Here we go, Bill's Analysis. I think we're just taking double Pokegear here to look for a supporter for the following turn. And then, yeah, attach and pass. Who knows if we'll go ahead and GX attack or not. Next turn, maybe. Got the energy. Could get a greens off the Pokegears. Look to set up the Omastar and then GX this turn. Could also GX next turn, but I think I would, or the turn after, but I think I'm going to look to GX next turn. Hopefully can find an unidentified fossil and then go for the GX attack. Maybe surprise box something out of the discard pile into the hand. I don't know. We'll see. I don't actually know how this matchup goes. I have to imagine it's close or unfavored, I think. We'll have to kind of wait and see. I don't know. We got the Lysander Labs in there, which we will try and stick at some point to get around spell tags doing too much damage. I almost want to like wait to use the GX attack, not for next turn, but the turn after, so that way I can utilize the great potions I have in hand before I GX attack and then draw that many more cards. There's a Hoopa from our opponent and a Marshadow. Interesting options in the deck. I have not seen those guys in a deck like this pretty much ever. There's the Jirachi. So I'm thinking we maybe just want to start going with Poltergeist, but yeah, we'll see what the Pokegears give us and then kind of decide from there. It's very possible we can just trap this Jirachi in the active for the turn if we use the GX attack and then figure out something else on the next turn, so that's also fine. Surprise box, give them like a mysterious treasure or something. There's a Viridian Forest coming down from our opponent. We'll definitely want to utilize that. Maybe, well, I wouldn't want to give them something that they could potentially use, so I probably want to use a surprise box over Viridian Foresting the surprise box out of my own hand. And then Pokegears, back-to-back greens wouldn't be terrible. Depending, I guess we could maybe Viridian Forest away our top deck. That would be potentially good. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see here. Yeah, they're setting up pretty well. Hoopa isn't that big of a threat because we're not going to have that many abilities in play. We're only ever going to get one ability into play, so really not that big of a deal to have the Hoopa be in play. And if we can set up this item lock before they can get any Malamars in play or in hand, that's going to be great, actually, because that means they might struggle to find the Malamars. We kind of want to just like kind of stop them from getting to the point where they can just keep chaining Giratinas and just kind of have endless Giratinas. That's what we're kind of trying to avoid the point for our opponent to get to. And yeah, there goes a Malamar back into the deck, which I really like to see. They do get a Giratina, but that is fine with me. The attach to the Giratina is fine. It's just they can't set up the Malamars, they won't be able to keep chaining the Malamars, and so on from there. All right, Jirachi wakes up. That's fine. There's the Bill's analysis, but we'd much rather use a greens. So we're going to start with these. There is the greens. I am then going to replace this with Power Plant. I'm going to surprise box, give them a mysterious treasure, I think. Definitely not a supporter of that. Let's give them a mysterious treasure. That's fine. Attach active. And then I will play the greens. I will play Pokegear first, actually. See if this gets me. Okay, this gets me a greens. So now I'm going to play greens for the fossil. And I don't know. I need to grab another card. Fossil, and I guess I would need Rare Candy, Communication, Cherish Ball next turn to for sure pull off the Omastar, so I should just grab Fossil, Cherish Ball, and I can go ahead and even use the Cherish Ball right now, get the Gengar out of the deck so I don't draw into the Gengar, because I won't need him for a while. And then next turn we can greens for the Rare Candy and the Communication, for sure set that up. And if we get anything else off the GX attack, we can greens for something else instead. I don't know what it would be, but yeah, we can get something else. We don't get anything here, but it'll be fine. Yeah, like I said, now we're gonna go greens for Communication and Rare Candy. Get out the Omastar, start up the item lock. Hopefully our opponent doesn't find too many Malamar. We might actually want to use the Peking Red card this turn to check how many Malamars they have in hand, and if they have a decent amount, just go ahead and get rid of them. They do have one Psychic Energy in here. Yeah, we could do that. We could see Peking Red card, see what they got going on, and then maybe go ahead and get rid of the hand if it has too many Malamars in it. That's the only thing that I want to try to avoid. So we got the Rare Candy, so now we can go greens for communicate. I think Communication and then Cherish Ball again, so we can get another Gengar Gengar Mimikyu set up as soon as possible. So yeah, Communication, get rid of this guy, get ourselves the Omastar. Rare Candy him out, and then I will get another Gengar Mimikyu and put it on our bench because I don't really see a reason not to do that. still interested to see where this game goes. It feels like it's still going to be tough. I'm debating using the Pikachu red card. They have such a big hand that even if we take it away and give it back to them, they're still going to have a ton of stuff. So it feels almost not worth to use the Pikachu red card because of how big their hand is. So we're just going to go with the Poltergeist. 2 Malamars, unfortunately, in the hand. So no energy, though. So they can't quite attack with the Giratina. They still need an energy for turn. They do have some draw supporters in there, so they can definitely get there. But they don't have it quite yet. And then, yeah, they may as well evolve the active Malamar as well, because either way they need an energy. So they could just Psychic Recharge from the active to the bench, and then hard retreat the Inkay into the Giratina. The thing is, if they continuously attack with the Giratina, their bench will never get any smaller, and they'll actually never get access to item cards again. So at some point, oh, well, there's the Ditto bench. So now I definitely think they'll never get access to items ever again. The thing I was thinking is they could attack with Hoopa one turn, and then they would only be able to hit us. Well, they'd hit us for 100, but I guess I wouldn't quite set up a 2-shot. They could hit us with Hoopa for a turn, make us KO the Hoopa, and then use the Marshall to get rid of the stadium, and then they could get access to items, but it looks like they're just going to commit to not ever getting access to items, which I guess is okay. I don't know. I feel like there's maybe a better way to go about it, though. I think I would go about it a little bit differently if I was my opponent. Yeah, no energy. That's huge. I'm just going to assume they have one trainer card in their hand, and I'm going to put the choice on the bench one here, actually, and I'm not going to peek in red card. I'm going to assume they have one trainer card. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 trainer cards in the hand. So that is going to be plenty. Only lilies too, so they're not shuffling the hand anytime soon. So we should be able to sit here for quite a while with this setup and just keep swinging with the Gengar Omastar, or the Gengar Mimikyu. Why do I keep calling it Gengar Omastar? Another play we can make at some point is actually retreat, set up a third Gengar Mimikyu, especially because their bench is so big now, and retreat into a new one to keep the damage one on the bench, because Giratina Malamar decks generally don't play Custom Catcher. Also, they can't currently use Custom Catcher. So, and if we just always make it so they can't use Custom Catcher, we won't do it yet. We'll wait until this one gets knocked out, and then this one will retreat into a new one at some point. Because if they can't use Custom Catcher, they can't use it or they don't play it, then it's okay we get kind of like an extra Gengar Mimikyu into play at some point, and we can it's like almost using like a max potion on one of them or something. I don't even know what I want to call it, but yeah, can definitely abuse that. All right, so Hoopa hits for, it'll be hitting us actually for 120 damage. So they're gonna hit for 130. This guy will hit for 120. So I think we want to use one Great Potion here. I'm actually curious as to where they're gonna put this damage. So they used just Lily, so we should be able to knock this out for sure. So if we use, I'm gonna play this first, get a energy out of deck. Definitely don't want to use the Peking Red card if I don't have to. Should be doing plenty of damage to this guy. I want the Coach Trainer, and I think I want the Pokegear here. Could take the Custom Catcher, would be okay, but they have so many Malamar set up already, I don't think it's gonna matter. I think it's what we want to go with. All right, and then we heal down to 80. This guy's hitting us for, what was it, 30, gonna be 60 with weakness. Oh, they're only hitting us for 60. So it wouldn't quite kill us, but if they could get back into a Giratina, which they might be able to, they would kill us. We definitely want to use one Great Potion here. Attach to the bench guy, and then swing with Poltergeist. This should KO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in the hand. All trainer cards. Another knockout, down to 3 prize cards now. Just need to keep finding that healing, and I think we're going to be able to close this one out no problem, as long as we can keep finding those healing cards. So yeah, now they're getting to the point where they can, not quite. They would have to attack us with a Malamar at some point if they wanted to be able to match Pokemon in play and be able to use item cards again. I don't know if they're going to go that far. They might. So we definitely have to look out for that if they're going to go for that play. But if they do attack us with a Malamar, then we can KO that Malamar and then like double custom up another Malamar potentially. We'll see. There's the Viridian Forest from our opponent. Would love to find a Power Plant and remove that from play again. Don't really want them to have Viridian Forest. We'll definitely utilize the Viridian Forest ourselves. Probably Viridian Forest away the Green's Exploration. I'll probably also bench the Fossil and discard it on my next turn as well, just to play around a reset stamp that could potentially come out if our opponent is somehow able to match us in hand size. So they should still have, they had 5 before, so they should still have 4 trainer cards in hand. I could check with the Peking Red card. I'm actually not 100% sure that they do, but let's see. Let's check what they did on their turn. I wasn't completely paying attention. Played Viridian Forest. Psychic Energy got rid of a 4, so they should still have 4 trainer cards in the hand here. I might peek in red card just to make sure and just be safe, but I'm pretty confident that it's at 4. There we go. The Psychic Recharge is coming up, so after the Hoopa hits, Tina will be hitting us next. But we can heal 50 again and stay out of the knockout range of the Giratina, so we're definitely going to be doing that. Definitely going to be great potioning our active. I could try and get a ton of trainer cards out of our hand just in case they wanted to go with, like, if they can get access to Mimikyu. That'd be another reason to check with Peking Red card to see if they have Mimikyu in hand, because Mimikyu, they could attach active Psychic Recharge twice to the Mimikyu and then use Copycat to use our Poltergeist that we just used against them. So it would make it worth it to use the Peking Red card for that. There's a Lily for 3. Yeah, so I think I definitely will check with this Peking Red card to see if they have the Mimikyu in hand or not. 60. Yeah, so I think I'm going to Peking Red card, check for that Mimikyu, because that is a little bit scary potentially. I'm going to start with this, get rid of the greens. Can't really use greens anymore anyways, so that's fine. Get that out of the deck. I am going to Peking. Let's take a look. Do they have the Mimikyu? No, and they probably won't be able to get it, so that's fine with me. Nope. Keep them with that current hand. I'm going to play this, like I said, discard it just in case. Just do this now. Don't need it anymore. Going to get rid of him. And then Coach Trainer for 4. 2, 3, 4. Lysander Labs. I think I'd rather hold on to the Lysander Labs, see if they play another stadium themselves. Great Potion, we can heal down to 90. They would hit us for 130. 220. So once again, just staying out of range of a knockout. And then Poltergeist, knockout Hoopa. Boom. 230 damage. And I think we have this one just about locked up. Our active should not be able to get knocked out next turn. And then we should be all good from there. We have another Coach Trainer. We got some custom catchers I don't think we're going to use. Our opponent's hand is currently locked. We can look to set up a third Gengar Mimikyu if we want to, but I don't think we're going to need to. So we should have this one just about wrapped up. I wasn't sure how this matchup would go, but they definitely need to set up. I think they probably could have played a little bit cleaner on their side and played to get access to items at some point. They didn't really do that. They overloaded their bench, but you definitely need to set up a decent amount of Malamars to be able to keep up with the attacks as the Malamar deck. So I don't fully blame them for how they played it out so far. Let's see, Surprise Box, don't need that. Just gonna Coach Trainer. 4 more. A lot of stuff I could, like I said, I could bench, but we don't want to give them access to items. We could heal this guy down to 130, but we'd still get knocked out. So I think we're just gonna swing here. Should be a knockout with the Poltergeist. Yep, our opponent's hand is still all kinds of locked up. They can maybe knock us out on their next turn. Didn't look like they can do it for sure with their current hand. We only have 20 HP left, but we also only have 1 prize card left. Our opponent has yet to have drawn a prize card. We still have plenty of healing left, and could have set up a third Gengar Mimikyu if we wanted to. Oh, they are able to get down. They are able to match bench size here, so they are able to use items here. I'm gonna try and clear out their hand, and then get down to probably a 0 card hand. We do have a Surprise Box and we have Custom Catcher, so that's enough to win the game already. We can Custom Catcher up a Malamar, play Surprise Box. I maybe should have held off on that last Coach Trainer I used. There's Espeon Deoxys. I guess that's not too scary, but it is very big. But it is weak to Psychic, so it's about the same as, I guess it's a little bit harder to knock out than a Giratina maybe. Oh, it's about the same, it's just 3. I guess I could have held off on using that last Coach Trainer, just in case they were able to reset stamp us. They don't have a reset stamp in hand. Who knows if they actually play one. Generally, there's no reset stamps in Malamar decks, but that's not always, not everyone's playing the exact same 60, so there definitely could be a reset stamp in here, and that could definitely give our opponent a way back into the game. So I probably should have held off on playing down that last Coach Trainer, and just kind of held it. That way I'd have more outs if I was to get reset stamped. If there's one thing I would want to add to this deck, it would definitely be more supporters. Probably just more Bills Analysis. I wouldn't hate going up to 4 Bills Analysis, 4 Coach Trainer, 4 Greens. That would definitely be something I'd want to consider adding. Would just be more Bills Analysis, for sure. Could definitely see that being a good addition to the deck. not necessary, but yeah, some more draw support. Because when you get it to these points in the game where it gets down to where they can potentially make a comeback, it's when you kind of run out of supporters. So that's when it becomes hard to potentially make a comeback from our opponent, you know, getting us usually with a reset stamp or something like that. There's a switch into a Malamar, switch back into the Inkay. Yeah, they're just trying to get down to a 0 card hand, or just about. There's the Espeon Deoxys. I don't know what else was in their hand. I think they have a Lily, but that's going to draw them a lot of cards. A lot more items they're going to have to get rid of. We'll see if they're able to do it. I think they have a Lily, and I forget what the last card is. Oh, well, it is the Dene. All right, so they're going with the Dene draw. They are now no longer allowed to use item cards, though, because they have benched 2 Pokemon. So they're once again stuck if they have item cards in hand. So if they have 3 item cards in hand, we can just knock out their Espeon Deoxys. We don't even need to do the custom catchers. We will do the custom catchers because it is the guaranteed win. However, we could just go after the Espeon Deoxys. I think we have all of our surprise boxes. Oh, wait, 3 surprise boxes left. So we could even get our last coach trainer off the Pokegear and then just draw into some surprise boxes, throw those cards in their hand, and then just swing to knock out the Espeon Deoxys. But we can just play it safe, double custom up a Malamar, or even the Inkay at this point, and just knock that out for just having one, what's it called, in the discard pile. They might even think about using Hypnosis here if they potentially have some way to like thin out the hand over the next couple turns. Like if they have Viridian Forest plus Hypnosis, that would actually be pretty good. Just attaching and attacking with the Espeon Deoxys isn't that great because, well, they have a 6 card hand, and then we have a huge hand. They should probably know that our deck plays multiple tricks to try and get more trainer cards into their hand. But we'll see what they end up going with here. I think they're definitely unsure of their decision as of right now. Well, there's the Espeon Deoxys send up. Do they have at least an energy out of hand, or is it just going to be a pass? There's another Malamar to the bench from our opponent. And what else do they have? Is that it? There's something else. Just going to be the pass. All right. Like I said, we're just going to play it safe. Double custom up a Malamar. And then surprise box. Guarantee an item into our opponent's hand. And then Poltergeist for the knockout. Our opponent did not draw a single prize in this one. Yeah, and they had 4. They had 3 before we put the surprise box card into their hand. So we were knocking out the Espeon Deoxys anyways. They had no way out of that one at all. And that's going to do it for the video on the updated build of the Gengar Omastar deck. This is Alex Shumenski's list from Worlds. I've been liking it. The only thing, like I said, I want to maybe add would be more Bill's analysis. That's the only thing I can think of that I would want to add, or just some other kind of draw supporter. Coach trainers are good. Greens are obviously very good for the early game. And then, but from there, I feel like I'd want something a little bit more. So like maybe trying to fit a couple Bill's analysis. 3 power plant feels a little heavy. Can maybe cut one of those, but that's going to do it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Links to my Twitch live stream as well as social medias in the description below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.